way back in 1998 when I got diagnosed with my tendonitis, what happened was I woke up one day and I didn't have the capacity. I I tried to pick up a bottle and I couldn't actually hold it and it slipped out of my hand. Okay, so it was like a huge deal. I couldn't actually make my fingers do this. Now, the thing is, while I had pain in here, the injury was actually all through here, and they contended when I went to see the doctors that it was actually all the way up through here. So you have 9 nerves, I believe it is, that run on each side from here, the base of your neck, down through the hole in the bones in your shoulder area, down across the arm, and then they go through the carpal tunnel here into your fingers. Now, everybody's like, oh, it's carpal tunnel. No, it's not inflammation of the carpal tunnel. It is inflammation of these tendons and muscles in here. I have experienced pain, so I get pain in here in my elbows. I get pain in here on the other side of my elbow. And then this all gets super inflamed. And I also have neuropathy in my fingers where I get like burning sensations or like really sharp, like acute pain, very acute pain. So I have all of those different things and just general soreness. Now, when they diagnosed me, they contended that the reason that I got it was because I was playing piano 20 hours a week and I was typing on a keyboard, 40 to 60 hours a week. So that's, anywhere from 60 to 80 hours in this sort of position. So while the recommendation is rest, elevation, ice and compression, we live. And if you're going to live, you're going to use your hands because unless you don't have any. So the best ways to protect yourself that I have found over the last 25 years, I guess, since I got diagnosed, is thinking about neutral positioning. So this has especially come up when I'm teaching my poi because a lot of people will do this sort of thing, which actually creates tension. So neutral positioning, noticing your neck. So a lot of people do this sort of thing or this sort of thing from hunching over and reading your phones. And then you'll notice, right, the lift of my shoulders, that actually creates tension through here, which ends up tightening this, which has you lean forward more, which causes more of the nerve damage. Another element that ends up, so you can loosen that up by, if you focus on your chin, you want to lift and pull back in, which may seem awkward when you start, but for people who have done yoga, this is like mountain pose. This is mountain pose. Seems really easy. You put your arms up like this. When I first started doing yoga, which was right after I got injured, I couldn't even get all the way up to this position. I could only get here. So there's two elements of it. One is you want to be fully vertical, but then while you're doing it, the correct posture is you want to have your pelvis tucked. Your knees are going to be soft. You're shooting for your earlobes, over your shoulders, over your hips, and over your heels with the knees soft, the pelvis tucked, and the earlobes over the shoulder is going to prevent the turtling syndrome. And then as you do it and you put your arms up, what you also want to do is, so this, if you look at my upper back, I'm raised up, but now what I did, notice I lowered and I came in and down. So you're taking your chicken wings, bringing them in and pulling them down toward your sacrum in order to support yourself better up through here. So you're high, then focus on this muscle here, these muscles here, pull in toward the spine, and then down toward your butt, right? So down and in, right? And that, for extra bonus points, there is, in my experience, your mileage may vary, there is a difference between this and this. So having the core strength and the positioning to be able to get it in this tight versus out here, that can help as well. So that doesn't even seem like it's related to this, but I think it is. I mention it because we live in a world where we use our cell phones and iPhones. So even if you feel like you're resting, if you're holding a device, or if you're sitting at a computer, you want to have neutral positioning. What that means is, if you actually use a desk with a computer, they had me go through this whole ergonomic assessment process. In the ergonomic assessment process, what you're doing is you are noticing for neutral angles. This is not neutral. You want to be like this. So you want your elbows in line with the frame of your body. This is not neutral where it's up, but this is also not neutral where it's too low, right? So you want to have that neutral. Then the other thing is line of sight. You want to have the monitor line of sight, not down. So if you use a laptop, notice what happens. I look down, boom, curve of my neck. Your cell phone is obviously worse. So in theory, you'd want to hold it like that. Or an even better solution, because when you hold it like that, you can get grip issues with your hand because you're squeezing all the time like this. The better solution is if you get an actual a monitor stand that will hold the phone here and a keyboard that you can type with. If you don't want to do that, I understand. It's just if you're on your phone a lot, this is a way to help prevent injury and or if you're resting, to genuinely rest. Okay, so that's ergonomic assessment stuff. Oh, and then the other thing is, doesn't seem obvious, but when you're sitting at a desk, you are supposed to, like, you don't want to be like this. You want to be down, and you want a 90-degree angle in your knee. So elevate your feet if you need to. The cheapest and easiest way to do that for people used to be, back in the 90s, when we used paper, to put some reams of paper on the floor and put your feet on the reams of paper. But I use yoga blocks to help elevate my feet if my desk chair doesn't fit properly at the desk. Um, and then also useful, Aerolon makes this awesome chair, which is super ergonomic, which has a armrest that goes like this, so that you have support instead of using the muscles in your body if you are moving your arms in and out like this. Okay, so I'd say, okay, that all of that is preventative. None of that is necessarily rehabilitative.